I saw Curry, bust down on the Mavs the other night, and I wanted to ask y'all a question, man. Y'all think Curry is still a top 5 point guard in the NBA? And to add to that question, do you think it's time to start having a conversation that Curry is a better point guard than Kyrie Irving? Josh, if you want to go first.
Oh man. You know what, man? To answer your question, I feel like Steph is definitely top 5 point guard in the league. I'm not gonna give him the number 1 spot though. And the reason I say this is because we still got Luka and Shea in the league. But as of right now, what the standings are with Golden State, I believe, are they number 2 or number 3 in the West right now?
I think they're number 2.
Well,
I believe I saw a tweet that said that Houston.
They are number 2.
Yeah, with them. Okay, then. So if they're number 2 in the West, and I'm pretty sure they're behind what OKC, right?
Yeah.
So
on the team.
Shea is that guy. Last year, he did start in the All-Star game, and Steph was on the bench. So I'm gonna just put that out there. But yeah, Steph is a top 5 point guard in the league, and he's better than Kyrie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Right.
I used to be one of those guys that said Kyrie is better than Steph, but
I remember.
God. But God damn, that light-skinned nigga is nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That's called growth, bro. I love to see that on you, man. That means you're growing.
I don't even want to
older.
glaze that nigga for real, bro. But that nigga,
You're growing. I like this.
I need to know the criteria because for me, I always thought like Luka and Shea was like shooting guards, but since they hold the ball so much, everybody just called them point guards.
That's what I was gonna ask because I consider Shea a point guard, but Luka I was still on the edge about because I was like he's got Kyrie on his team, so I kind of see him as a point guard, but I didn't know if we were counting him as a true point guard.
So that's my thing. Like I always not consider him a shooting guard, but if I feel like if the Mavs had a chance before Kyrie to get Chris Paul or somebody like a floor general, they would have. So it's like it's positionless basketball, but even if it's positionless, Steph is top 5 in the league still.
I don't know about the league, but I'll give him a top 5 point guard.
Still, man. He's still waking up, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because with me, I see accomplishments and I add that. So I think people, when they say stuff like this, is he still a top 5 point guard they talking about currently? But I still think you got to factor in what he has done.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
I feel you. That's solid. What you think? What you think, Sean?
Ooh, Steph Curry was a top 5 point guard in the league, and he still is. Like, I'm not gonna bet y'all. Steph Curry is still a top 5 player in this league. Like, we've seen the man shoot over Derek Lively, and like he still got it. Like, he's still one of the best point guards in the NBA because the gap between, like, while Shea and Curry, I'm not sure about Luka because as Pina said, we're not sure. I'm going to say he's a shooting guard as of right now, even though he holds most of the ball. So I'm going to say Shea and Curry. There's a gap. Like, it's a small one, but Shea's both. But then you look at Curry in the West, and who's the next best guard? Point guard.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, can we go down the list to see who would be his contemporaries?
I gotta look at this.
While y'all looking that up, but Tink did say something very, very key. He said positionless. This is positionless basketball. But I do consider Luka the PG. He's the one that's bringing the ball up. He's the one that's bringing the ball up. He's the one that's initiating the offense for the Mavericks. He's been doing that since he got there. So Luka is a point guard in my eyes.
So I got Luka, Shea, Curry, and then there's a big gap. Like, I think Jalen Brunson is the next best point guard.
Trae Young's been hooping this season.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, but to compare Trae Young to those guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's to Sean's point, there is that gap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And one thing I will say, one thing about Curry is his game is timeless.
Right. Absolutely.
Father Time not going to really mess with him in his threes because, I mean, in terms of physically draining things like dunking or like playing
Slash.
defense like that, slashing, anything like that. He's shooting threes. While it does take energy, it doesn't take as much as saying driving in and trying to lay up over somebody or dunk over somebody.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. I mean, I think to Ting's point, I think the question if he's a top 5 point guard, of course he's a top 5 point guard. Matter of fact, he's a top 5 player.
Yeah.
That's even a better question.
Now, hold on. For the audience, I just want y'all to understand that Tink and Ahmad are both Warrior fans. Okay, so there's a little bias in their statements. Okay, I just want to be clear.
I
We
mean,
can say the same thing about Brian, but we go.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
gonna jump topics yet.
We ain't gonna do that.
I will say that Curry is a top 5 player in this league until Embiid figures out what the hell is going on with him, because he played 2 games so far and I believe they lost both games.
Wait, let me just tell you something real quick. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
The reason why Curry is a top 5 in the NBA period is because, first of all, he got 4 rings. You can't argue against 4 rings.
Talk about
bro.
right now, man. Talk about
4
right
rings.
now.
You can't argue against 4 rings.
But
And Finals MVP, unanimous MVP, and he's like 36 years old, still doing like dropping 40 on niggas, bro. What y'all don't realize about Curry is that Curry can drop 40 any given night. He just don't want to do that sometimes.
Come on, bro.
Listen to me. Listen to
like
me.
Wipe your lips, brother. Wipe your lips.
when I was watching the game last night, with the Warrior system, it's strength in numbers. You
Yes.
can't always, if like he said, if he like one time Coach Kerr said if we wanted to change Curry into Harden, we could. But it's more about winning basketball. You gotta put your ego to the side. I just heard it last night. You gotta put your egos to the side when you come to the Warriors.
That man
That's
good.
why James
Come on.
Harden didn't win a title.
We
good.
weren't about a ring. Come on now.
That's why
Exactly.
James Harden didn't win no title.
Exactly. James Harden and Russell Westbrook has the most triple doubles in NBA history at 199. But guess
What
what?
they got to show for it?
Nothing. So at the end of the day, Curry is like he's a top dog right now. In my opinion, the only person who I would put above him maybe is LeBron James. Maybe. But like even that's arguable. So like
Look,
for
Tink not agree with that shit though. Look at him, bro.
For sure.
But no, that
Like,
you're right though. LeBron is
I said maybe, John. I said maybe. I said maybe.
No,
I said maybe.
it's
Chill out now.
maybe.
Chill out. I said maybe.
It's a landslide, but I don't want to make this a Curry versus
You're right. You're right.
LeBron thing, so
You're right. I
I'm
said
not
my
going to
take.
do that right now.
I
I'm
said
not
my
going to
take.
do that right now.
Let's keep it pushing.
But